Hello there, I'm Richard Shakarian, and I appreciate you watching. We are coming to you from the center of the vision. The Full Gospel Businessmen's Fellowship, yes, it has a center, and the center is right here. All the strategic plans for great soul winning throughout the entire world. We work right from this place right here. You know, when my father had the vision, something special happened. Just a few minutes before, he was so discouraged, so down, so afraid because he thought that the fellowship was going to be closed up, that he was going to have to stop the fellowship. He would have to close it. It was almost Christmas time. It was December 27th, and he thought, it's over. You know, people aren't interested. They're not coming. It's not working. Maybe you've had these same thoughts yourself from time to time regarding your dream. And then when he went to prayer, I'll tell you, when he dropped to his knees, it seemed like everything changed. I remember the next day, I remember that next day, how wonderful it was. My father's face was shining because he had seen the vision that God showed him, the vision of the people of the whole world, where death had turned to life. And that's what Full Gospel Businessmen's Fellowship is doing. Families are turning from death to life. People are turning from death to life. Businesses from death to life. And God answered the prayers because he wanted to. We were praying in his will. But that next day, something happened. The Holy Spirit moved in. Minor Argabright, a contractor from Los Angeles, came to the meeting. The week before, he had told my father, I wouldn't give you a nickel for this idea, for this chapter meetings, for this fellowship. It's not going anywhere. You ought to close it up. Everyone told him to close it up, and so he was going to. But that next day, after he received the vision, when Dad went over to Clifton's cafeteria, Minor Argabright reached into his pocket and pulled out an envelope. Dad thought it was his resignation from the fellowship, but it wasn't. It was a check for $1,000. You know, God provides the vision, and then he provides the provision. It takes both the vision and the provision. You can have the provision, and many organizations, religious organizations, have the provision. Plenty of provision, but no vision. Or you can have the vision and no provision. Either way, you're stopped. But God will provide the vision and the honorable people to provide the provision. And that's what he did. And the fellowship began. And before long, the room was packed out, and chapters were starting all over the world. And this has been a place of, like a storehouse of God's blessing to the whole world. I mean, just think about it. How many ministries have come out of the fellowship? People you may be too young to remember. But I remember that Vanjie and I took a group of people to Rome and to Italy and to Jerusalem to bring 3 banquets in each place. And with us, we brought an evangelist that was not very well known at the time, turned out to be a great man of God, Kenneth Hagin Sr., and others like that were blessed through the fellowship. One after another. If I would start to name names, I'll get in trouble because I'll leave somebody else. But if you go down the TV roster and see many of those great names, many of those were blessed at the start through the fellowship. And I want you to know that this fellowship has got a great blessing for you. We are a storehouse for God of his blessing, not only to the people, but as an incubator to start, lift men up and let them get started to fulfill their calling, if regardless what it is, a pastor, evangelist, great businessman, multimillionaire, a philanthropist, whatever it is. You know, God has your calling in his mind, and he's put the seeds inside of you. And I want you to know that we're very proud to have opened this center for the vision. This is the Fgbmfi Vision Center. The Vision Center. You know, I've heard people tell the vision all over the world, and they may know certain things. But I remember the day after, the day before, what happened. The look on my dad's face, the look on the people's face, the change in attitude, the change in power and of joy. And that's what I want to tell you about, because God's got that same wonderful provision for you. So you're welcome to come and visit us from time to time. We're just outside of Irvine, California, in a wonderful, quiet place with water and trees around us, and a great place to seek God and to get His mind regarding the future outreaches of this fellowship. He's dealing with us right now to do greater things. Yes, we do chapters, but is that all that God has for us? Yes, we do fire teams, but can God do greater than that? Yes, we're planning great things, but is that all that God has? I tell you, we serve an unlimited God, a powerful God. He can remove the beam from the eye of the unseen person, and He can bless you. So I want to invite you to come and to join us here, and we'll encourage each other. You know, today was a wonderful day. I got a call this morning at 6:30 in the morning from Africa, and they're sending people to Tunisia, an African nation, to start the Full Gospel Business Fellowship there. I got another call, and they said we're starting a special kind of chapter in Tucson, Arizona. And what is that? Well, that's the executive chapter, or the executives over there in Tucson, Arizona. So this fellowship is on the move. Whether it's in Africa or the United States, God's on the move. We love you, and we're glad that you're a part of this great vision. God bless you. Thank you.